Breaking news out of New York City now, where a candidate for mayor has been taken into custody by ICE agents. The wife of city comptroller Brad Lander posting this video to his social media moments ago. There it is. Lander, who's running in next week's Democratic primary, says he was escorting a defendant out of immigration court when he was taken by masked agents and detained by ICE. A spokesperson for DHS saying Lander was arrested for assaulting law enforcement and impeding a federal officer. This incident happening as the Trump administration makes arrests outside immigration courtrooms across the country. Well, the legal battle over President Trump's deployment of the California National Guard to Los Angeles is taking center stage in a federal courtroom. A lower court judge already ruling that the deployment was illegal, but the case was put on hold until it can go before an appeals court in San Francisco today. Political reporter Monica Madden from our ABC station in San Francisco joins me now. Monica, great to see you. Last week, a lower court judge ordered President Trump to return control of the National Guard to California Governor Gavin Newsom, but then that ruling was put on hold. So bring us up to date. What's the latest?
Good to be with you, Kira. In less than an hour, the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals will be hearing this matter. It's going to be a 3-member judge panel. I want to point out that 2 of those judges are appointees of President Donald Trump from his first term, so that does give him a slight advantage heading into this hearing. These appellate judges already, of course, blocked that lower federal court ruling that would have restored the control of the National Guard back to Governor Gavin Newsom, the California National Guard, that is. So these appeals judges will be considering whether or not to keep that temporary block on that lower court ruling. Now, one of the central questions in this case, Kira, is whether or not President Donald Trump followed the law when he federalized the National Guard to respond to those protests in L.A. We've been hearing from the DOJ that the president has ultimate executive authority on this issue, and they say that ultimately this matter did get communicated to Governor Newsom, whereas California says that Governor Newsom did not hear directly from the president about this issue. So these are some of the legal questions that these judges will be wrestling with in court today, Kira.
So, Monica, we actually just heard from Senator Alex Padilla of California. He spoke on the Senate floor after being detained last week at a news conference with Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Take a listen.
What's happening is not just a threat to California, it's a threat to everyone in every state. If Donald Trump can bypass the governor and activate the National Guard to put down protests on immigrant rights, he can do it to suppress your rights too. If he can deploy the Marines to Los Angeles without justification, he can deploy them to your state too.
Monica, what did you make of his remarks?
Kira, I think this is a really striking moment for California Democrats and really Democrats nationwide. As we heard from Senator Padilla, if this is happening to us, it can happen to you too. We've heard that point being driven home by Governor Gavin Newsom. And although, this case is really about a lot of the procedural aspects of how President Trump is federalizing the National Guard, their warning is that how might he use this power depending on these courts' decisions for other states when we see protests pop up in other states, in red states and blue states. So I think that is the point that Democrats are really trying to connect with voters and the electorate on of, these powers could be used in a potentially abusive way in the future. Kira?
Monica Madden from our ABC station KGO in San Francisco. Monica, sure appreciate your reporting. Thank you.